Good morning, everyone. Another beautiful day here. Yes, yes. Looks like it's going to be some clouds going again. We'll see for how long. Yes. Okay, so I broke down. And we ordered a pool anyway here. Well, because some things have changed, and I might be actually here this daughter's house a little longer than I thought. So we need a pool. We just need a pool. Aren't we lucky that we can get a pool, right? Yes, I'm just saying. And all the children pitched in, yes. I've been giving them, if they did really well, taking care of each other, behaving properly. I shared some of the earnings that I make right now from my grandson's friend that also comes here. Yes, it's just a little bit, but it's taking care of him over the summer. And I've been sharing that with the children somewhat, so they got a little bit of pocket allowance after every week. Yes, if. So the last week we all pitched in to get this pool, and I added on a little bit. So, and so we're gonna have a pool. It's bigger than what we had, which will be nice. Yeah. So another nice thing, we have water available for a pool here, right? Yes. What are we talking about here? Yeah. Yes. And yeah, my oldest granddaughter came this morning. She spent the evening with at home, and then came here in the morning again, early. And the first thing she says, "Hey, Grozy, I watched a debate between Trump and Biden last night with Dad. Did you watch it?" And I'm going, "I didn't even know what was going on." So anyway, she says, "You should see it. It's kind of funny." Anyway, so I went and checked it out, and pretty quickly, it's uh, to me, talking about the past and what happened in the past and whose fault is what and who's to blame for this or that. It's already past. There's absolutely nothing anyone can do about that. What's in the future? What are the plans for the future? The solutions for the future? Right? Yes. So anyway, I watched some of it, and since my contribution in that area are just as hopefully I am a worthy citizen or a worthy person in the country that I am living in, then that's the best that I can do. Yes, yeah, not true. So it will be what it will be in the elections. No doubt there's going to be a big old hullabaloo going on again. And what does one do? Yes. I feel like that mainly the American citizens are left out of making important decisions. And are only accommodated when it suits the suits. So, there you go. I personally think that it is time to step away and let the younger generations take over. Oh, why? But it is their future. I may have, okay, another 60 years here on Earth, if I am going to be 120, yet I mainly have to kind of watch from the sidelines when it comes to that kind of stuff, and hope that I'm not going to be forgotten and taken care of in my old age. as many generations before or have taken care of, older generations. So we'll have to see on how that goes. But as far as, again, I think there's a reason for a retirement age, and sometimes one has to maybe make others retire. Don't know. As I said, it was not pleasant to watch, not for me. It is as it is. In the comments for most people, it's just entertainment. That's, to me, very sad as well, because this is about the leadership of our country, and I think that should be taken more seriously. And I think that anyone that has the desire to take on leadership like that should have, first and foremost, the people, its citizens, on their mind. That's all I have to say to that. All right, let's get going here, because it looks like this is a pretty long one here. Oh, yeah. We are in the third super chapter, Judith. My goodness, we're finally getting there. Description of Judith. 8. Judith was informed at the time of what had happened. She was the daughter of Merari, son of Ox, son of Joseph, son of Uzziel, son of Elkiah, son of Ananiah, son of Gideon, son of Raphaim, son of Ahitub, son of Elijah, son of Hilkiah, son of Eliab, son of Nathanael, son of Salamiel, son of Sarasadai, son of Israel. Oh, so son of Israel would be oh dear, I got a blank. All right, so okay, Danielle, I really got a blank there going. Moses? Ooh, sorry about that. So it looks like she's in a long line of, comes from a long line of ancestors that go back to, what? The first that was called Israel. Okay. Her husband, Manasseh, of her own tribe and family, had died at the time of the barley harvest. He was supervising the men as they bound up the sheaves in the field when he caught sunstroke and had to take to his bed. He died in Bethulia, his hometown, and was buried with his ancestors in the field that lies between Dothan and Balaman. Oh. Wow. Must have been really hot. As a widow, Judith stayed inside her home for 3 years and 4 months. Wow, she had an upper room built for herself on the roof. She wore sackcloth next to the skin and dressed in widow's weeds. She fasted every day of her widowhood. She fasted every day of her widowhood except for the Sabbath Eve. The Sabbath itself, the Eve of New Moon, the Feast of New Moon, and the joyful festivals of the house of Israel. Now she was very beautiful, charming to see. After she fasted for 3 years and 4 months and only ate once a week and one meal that day. Okay. Her husband Manasseh had left her gold and silver, men, servants, and maidservants, herds, and land, and she lived among all her possessions without anyone finding a word to say against her. So devoutly did she fear God. Okay, observant. This is all observed by others. Judith and the elders, hearing how the water shortage had demoralized the people and how they had complained bitterly to the headmen of the town, and being also told what Uzziah had said to them, and how he had given them this oath to surrender the town to the Assyrians in 5 days' time, Judith immediately sent the serving woman who ran her household to summon Shabris and Charmis, 2 elders of the town. Doesn't say that she had any children herself. When these came in, she said, "Listen to me, leaders of the people of Bethulia. You were wrong to speak to the people as you did today, and to bind yourself by oath in defiance of God, to surrender the town to our enemies if the Lord did not come to your help within a set number of days. Who are you to put God to the test today? You of all people to set yourself above him. Ooh. You put the Lord Almighty to the test. You do not understand anything and never will." Ma, I like her already. If you cannot sound the depths of the human heart or unravel the arguments of the human mind, how can you fathom the God who made all things, or sound his mind, or unravel his purposes? No, brothers, do not provoke the anger of the Lord our God. Although it may not be his will to help us within the next 5 days, he has the power to protect us for as many days as he pleases, just as he has the power to destroy us before our enemies. All right, I understand what she's saying here. All power belongs to God. That's that. And to try to coerce that in one way or the other is wrong. But you have no right to demand guarantees where the designs of the Lord our God are concerned. For God is not to be threatened as a human being is, nor is he like a mere human to be cajoled. Rather, as we wait patiently for him to save, let us plead with him to help us. He will hear our voice if such is his good pleasure. And indeed, of recent times and still today, there is not one tribe of ours, or family, or village, or town that has worshipped gods made by human hand, as once was done, which was the reason why our ancestors were delivered over to sword and sack and perished in misery at the hands of our enemies. We, for our part, acknowledge no other God but him, and so we may hope he will not look on us disdainfully or desert our nation. If indeed they capture us, as you expect, then all Judea will be captured too, and our holy places plundered, and we shall answer with our blood for their profanation. The slaughter of our brothers, the captivity of our country, the unpeopling of our heritage will recoil on our own heads among the nations whose slaves we shall become, and our new masters will look down on us as an outrage and a disgrace. For our surrender will not reinstate us in their favor. No, the Lord our God will make it a thing to be ashamed of. So now, brothers, let us set an example to our brothers, since their lives depend on us, and the sanctuary, temple, and altar rests on us. All this being so, let us rather give thanks to the Lord our God, who, as he tested our ancestors, is now testing us. Well, I already said about, right? Okay. Remember how he treated Abraham, all the ordeals of Isaac, all that happened to Jacob in Syria, Mesopotamia, while he kept the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother. For as these ordeals were intended by him to search their hearts, so now this is not vengeance that God is exacting on us, but a warning inflicted by the Lord on those who are near his heart. Oh, okay. Again, at that time, and in a way that the people are, okay, is God searching the people's hearts? He created us all. He knows our hearts, what we're capable of, and more. Where is the searching for God's heart? Right? And in a way, Judith is going in the right direction here. Still with, oh, he's testing us now. No, done. We're done with that. Okay, but it's going to keep coming up, yes. But I want to stay clear on, no, God will not ever, our Heavenly Parent will not ever test us in things like this. It is literally when you start walking towards Heavenly Parent, we're the ones who have to make sure that we're not suddenly distracted by this, distracted by that, because, oh, that feels so much better, or, oh, that could look really good too. Okay, but that's still really far away, and it's so difficult to do, right? So how about we just take a vacation, then get back on track? Isn't it always kind of like that? Rather than the other way around, where, okay, Heavenly Parent kind of goes looking for numbers. Well, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna let that slide today, but not this. And so I think I'll put a test out. It's time for, so it went well for 2 or 3 years or 50 years. And now let's put them to the test again with something like this, where he decides that, I'm going to have the Assyrian king, kind of go over the top, then send out the armies, start destroying people, see what they're going to do. That's really? You want to believe that? Okay, well. But this is a lot better. And again, just like with Tobit, it seems like that there may have been more, right? She says, we have not fallen back to that one sin of building more golden calves, having other gods come and disregard our God again. We haven't done that. We've been constant in serving, believing, trusting our God. We have to continue doing that. Right? If one has to put it out there as a test for people to understand it better, or to, oh yeah, I want to do well in that competition, then okay. But that's not what Heavenly Parent would do at all. Never, ever. I think I told the story on how when I taught fine arts and had to do testing as well, on how I did that, where it didn't become a test where, okay, now, if you studied or not, you're going to find out what you know. No, I made sure that they all knew by the end of our test, which was they sat there, everybody had the curriculum part for that particular test, and then I would ask questions. Whoever had the first 3 questions right, or first three questions, everyone had to answer right, was able to get up and was done and had an A. Okay? The ones that didn't study, the ones that came to, fine, who cares, right? They had to go through, probably by the end, they could go through the material and find the answers. Right? Yes? And the first time, it took the whole class time for the last one to be done. But I guarantee you that last one knew the content of that particular test, the knowledge that he had after that, better than the one that finished first. That's how I tested. Yes, my students. I made sure that the test that I gave them, by the end of the test, they knew what I was teaching them. They knew what I asked them to study for the test. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, it's a little different than, right? Just a test. Tsaya replied, everything you have just said comes from an honest heart, and no one will contradict a word of it. Not that today is the first time your wisdom has been displayed. From your earliest years, all the people have known how shrewd you are and of how sound a heart. But parched with thirst, the people forced us to act as we had promised them and to bind ourselves by an inviolable oath. You're a devout woman. Pray to the Lord, then to send us a downpour to fill our storage wells, so that our faintness may pass. So it didn't rain. Judith replied, listen to me, I intend to do something, the memory of which will be handed down to the children of our race from age to age. Tonight you must be at the gate of the town. I shall make my way out with my attendant before the time fixed by you for surrendering the town to our enemies. The Lord will make use of me to rescue Israel. You must not ask what I intend to do. I shall not tell you until I have done it." Uzziah and the chief men said, "Go in peace. May the Lord show you a way to take revenge on our enemies." And leaving the upper room, they went back to their posts. That's the end of 8. I'll find out. I'm not going. I want to read ahead now. That wouldn't be fair. You guys have to wait. Or you can go and get your own Bible and get it out. Well, anyway, so there it is. Well, let's see what happens next. Interesting. Tobit, then Judith. Great faith. Great faith and sound of mind. Sound of mind and sound of a good heart. What that mean at that time? Being intelligent about things, seeing a little bit ahead, being able to create solutions where other people can't. That's good leadership right there. So that's the type of person that one needs in leadership, right? Yes. Interesting that the guys don't just go, "That's a woman." What the heck? Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to a woman. Yeah, that's been locked herself away for 3 years and 4 months in her room. What would she know what's going on here, right? But that's how desperate they were. And yet, it gives us a little bit of at the beginning, look into, obviously, it seems like, also due to the fact that she grieved for her husband for so long, seemed like a good relationship. There seemed to be a good relationship there. Right? Under the guidance of God, good marriage. Seems that way. Yep. So we'll see. I hope. So have a bit of an idea where this may be going, and I hope that's not what it is. But we'll see. We'll see where it is going. And of course, it was mentioned that she's very charming and beautiful. All right. Yes, I'm getting to that. So there is, of course, and always here at the end, what did Uzziah say? Yeah, well, I'll see how you take revenge for us. Okay. Is that what this is about? We're supposed to love our enemies. Okay. Jesus hasn't come yet to let everybody know, yeah, you know what? But we know. And cyberbullying is I think, a very widespread, common thing now. You're not sitting right physically next to a person, and if most people who do cyberbullying have no doubt would never do in person. If you sat next to a person, would say what they do say on here. Don't believe that. Most of them would not have the guts to do so. And I thought about, okay, going back to, I started a condition for this community that I talked about yesterday, that has come in spirit. And it's been very interesting on where my heart to mind, where that led to when it comes to certain situations that I come across with people here on earth. Especially, you have to love your enemies. How does one do that? Really? And the one thing that I started doing, especially when it comes to people that I realize you're cyberbullying someone right now, I pray for their ancestry. I pray for the release of their ancestors so they may be released from the emotions that they have built up so strongly and so deeply, right? Baggage from your ancestors, that then it comes out in this type of aggression. Cyberbullying, actual bullying. And what are you going to do? There's hardly any way to reach a person like that with a sound mind, heart to mind. It's just not going to happen. They will not listen to reason. They will not also not believe that what they are doing is very hurtful to other people, or could be. And degrading another human being for no more than that they don't agree with you on simple things. Nothing like, I mean, don't come to me and say it's okay to sexually abuse a child. I'm going, heck no, are you nuts? How could you think like that? Right? Of course, but I'm talking more things well, I'm allowed to have my own thoughts. I'm allowed to follow who I want to follow. Right? And as long as there's no hurt being done to anyone out there, then stop what you're doing against me, for example. But I realized that you got to start at the root of the problem. You got to start at the problem where the foundation is just not stable, right? In that person's life, a rotten foundation, and often that has to do with one's ancestors. So I found, oh well, this is what I can do. If I am right or wrong does not matter, because prayer will always be directed into the right. Right? Of course, I'm going to have the heart to mind where I truly say a prayer or pray then for that person's ancestors, where I'm free of resentment doing that, where I'm free of, okay, man, I know there's something wrong with that ancestor. I can't do that either. It is a solution. It is give it a try, right? Yes. And then one looks from there. But I found that's one way to love my enemy, if one wants to look at it that way. Right? So, what could we do about the wars going on in the world right now? Pray for the ancestors of the attackers. Yes? Just say, right? If you believe in spirit life, if you believe in the power of God, then that should make a difference. Then we would be a great help, wouldn't we? Yeah. If in the physical, a person's desires for resentment and anger and hate and this and that disappears, then what happens? Then the restoring can begin, right? Yes, of relationships between people, the family, in a community, in a nation, in a world, between countries. It's one way. that one can give it a try. If we're kind of powerless to do anything else, we can do that. Yes? All right. Let's pray also for the leadership of our country, the ancestors of the ones that are fighting for that position. Yes, we need good leadership in this country. We do. God-centered. We will get that. Yeah, interesting. In a way, we're kind of in the same position as the Israelites are with the Assyrian, if you want to. And not fall under incompetent leadership. Yes? All right. Well, that's all I have to say today. Yes? May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you and embrace you with love. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow.